Hey, we're here with Pat and Leslie from Idaho Creation's Wine Barrel Furniture, and here in Filer, Idaho. And it's been about 7 years since this hobby has now turned into a big business.
7 years.
Kind of tell us a little bit, where you got the idea, how this kind of started.
It kind of started from doing other crafts. And Pat was doing a lot of stuff with cedar and antlers, and we were doing some shows. And women would walk into the booth and say, "Oh, my house is not a cabin. I don't like this." And they would turn around and walk off. Or they would walk in and say, "Oh, we have a garage full of antlers." And they would turn around and walk off. And I said, "Pat, if we're going to do this and have fun going to craft shows and stuff, we need to do something that everybody likes." And just out of the blue, he just said, "Let's make wine barrel furniture." It was all his idea.
There it is. And so all of these creations, and we'll run some images as we're talking here of some of the different things you've made. Pat, you make all of this stuff with your own hands. It's how did you get so creative, and where did you get the ability to be so?
It just started. We started out making wine glass holders that would hang from the ceiling. And those, we made several of those, and we did put 3 of those on eBay. Those are the ones that ended up in the United Kingdom. And
so your creations, your Idaho creations, are all on the other side of the pond,
right?
In the UK. That's pretty neat.
And Leslie asked one day if I could make one of these Adirondack chairs, and I said, "I don't know why we couldn't." And it took her and I, we had 25 man hours in the first one that we ever built. I mean, just getting the measurements, figuring out how we wanted it to go. And it just kind of blossomed from there. We started making tables, wine racks, small wine bottle holders, individual, single ones. And I'd go and come out to the shop and tell her I'm going to go build something, and she'd come out a couple hours later and go, "That's not what you were going to build."
So it just kind of started to snowball, right? And turned into something where now you have your furniture all over the place, and you do somewhere between 7 to 10 shows a year in farmers markets, and so it's been kind of an organic growth, I guess. I mean, it's not like you're out doing a lot of marketing or advertising, right?
No. Facebook, and I just started doing Instagram. So we did have a website, and it's still there, but we don't put anything on it because our things change so often, and every barrel is different, so it's hard to maintain I find it hard to maintain the website when everything's changing as it sells, and he creates something new.
Yeah, it's very cool. And so where do you go from here? I mean, you've got a little business, and you're getting more and more demand, but you don't want to necessarily, grow too fast or too big, because then you can't handle all the volume, right?
Yes, we had a gentleman ask us when we were in Pocatello about how big did we want to get, and I told him big enough to hire somebody, but I won't. And Leslie says, "Not big enough that we have to hire somebody." We've discussed a few things about going to trade shows, possibility, but we know if that happens, then we're could really be busy.
So if people maybe see this, where can they find more of your creations with the wine barrels, and maybe even make an order if they like what they see? Where can they find you?
On Facebook at Idaho Creations Wine Barrel Furniture Facebook. You can find us there. I post all the pictures of everything that he makes as he's making them, and we do encourage custom orders.
Oh.
For instance, like the bar stools that we're sitting on here. This bar stool is made for the height of this pub table, but we can make them as low as you want or as tall as you need for your home.
Yeah, and that's another awesome thing that I just learned is, besides, people buying these things for their homes, whether it be an end table or a coffee table or chairs, but also in some businesses, right? Some bars that have opened. The new Kodo Brewing Company had you make some things as well. So you're able to kind of work with different restaurants and stuff.
Right.
Okay.
We've got with Kodo Brewery, we built all their tasting flights. We built their serving trays. We built 2 sizes of serving trays. One serving tray is 36 inches, the full length of what the barrel is. And the other ones are 20 inches.
Wow. And besides, having a nice little business here, it allows you to do a little traveling, right? You get to go to different shows around the West and meet all sorts of different people. I'm sure that's a nice side benefit as well.
We've gone as far as Billings, Montana, and then all the way down to Rock Springs, Wyoming. We went to Elko, Nevada last year, and then one of our favorite spots is McCall, Idaho.
So when people come into your booth, because it is such a unique and handcrafted item, and like you say, it can be customized as well. I mean, what are people's typical reaction when they come in and they see your booth and what's their initial reaction?
Wow. Is that a wine barrel? Who emptied the wine barrel?
Who does empty the wine barrel?
Who does empty the wine barrel? Where do you get your wine barrels? General just questions, because I think sometimes people don't think about the recycling, the upcycling of a wine barrel. People think, well, let me put this in my yard as a decoration.
I have one. Guilty.
Yeah, and then after a few years, it just kind of implodes on itself. But it's amazing what you can do with a wine barrel.
Oh, it's beautiful work. So again, it's Idaho Creation's wine barrel furniture. Check them out. It's awesome stuff.